everybody for, again, I think this is 2 weekends in a row that we've had to have a Sunday moment. So I thank you so much for your move around, for being flexible with me, and for most of all, your mommy mercy. We had so many things we had to get into yesterday, early in the morning things. So I was like, yep, gonna have to move the moment this week. And you guys moved right along with me. So I'm so grateful to you, so thankful to you. Asante Sana, okay? Welcome again to a moment of harmony. We are in manifestation moments. We are manifesting more all the way up to the door, right? We're manifesting more up until my 40th birthday. It's the last year of my 30s, last year of a lot of things. And we are all in this together, making sure that this is the last year of some of the many things that do not serve us, that may be a part of our lives, that we may be partaking in, entertaining, or giving energy to. Last year for that. Like, we're moving that all around. We are reclaiming, renaming the last year, okay? And we are making sure that we're moving towards ourselves. Okay, I'm super excited about this journey. I'm in my next decade parade, but everyone here, regardless of what year you may be in, you are journeying with me in a moment of harmony for the last year of a lot of things. Manifestation moments, manifesting more. We have so much more in store for us, and we are moving towards it. We are moving towards it relentlessly, endlessly, restlessly. Listen, we are not giving up on the things that matter to us the most, the desires of our hearts. We are not moving into new chapters with old stories. Mm-mm. We are doing more for ourselves, and I am so happy to be a part of your, honored to be a part of your healthcare routine, your healthcare self care routine, and for us to be making this journey together, because we do, will, and are. I wanted again to say thank you so much for your space and time here today. Now, we are in manifestation moments. Normally, before I get into, I normally have like a what is it, like a shout out or two that I want to do. So there is a big, major, big birthday shout out for Dream. I mean, why I say Dream? Dream came to mind, and you know what it is? It's because I'm trying to get my moment in, and my grand girl is definitely sleeping. I feel like she's gonna wake up in the middle of it, and I'm gonna need some mommy mercy, some EI mercy. But it's not Dreams whose birthday it is. Dream already had her birthday. It is Maya Bones. That's my Bones. Happy birthday to my Maya. She's turning 22 years old, and she is in the Navy. She is over in all of the chaos currently. Auntie is praying for her on a daily basis over there, dealing with what's going on with Iran, and she is soldiering through literally, and she turns 22 years old tomorrow. So just sending her so much love. I know she follows her auntie on the moment. Sending you love, girl. You got this. We got you. Can't wait till you get home. Okay. Happy birthday to Bones. I'm saying it's June 30th. We're coming up on the end of June. Okay, we're coming up. Cancer season. We all up in cancer season. This is like the peak up. We're getting up into it. So I'm trying to think of who else. Peace, 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 and welcome to a moment of harmony. I'm trying to think of the other person. Goodness, I know there's an end of June situation. I don't know. Maybe I'm going into the beginning of July, but it will pop into. That was the first thing I wanted to thank you all so much. That was the first thing I wanted to shout out was Bones. Make sure she got her very special one, because she deserves it. She's super special, super awesome. The second thing I wanted to mention was when I needed Mommy Mercy yesterday, it was because my 11-year-old was a part of a war, like an Ubuntu warrior camp, right? And it was it's where they take young men through like some physical processes, mental, emotional processes. Hi, of just like growing, doing things that boys really aren't doing these days. Outside, being physical, growing together, being connected to one another. I live in the city. I live in Baltimore City. So, if you live in Baltimore City, you live in the DMV area, you know about the climate from school to school, area to area. Like, it's really easy to just kind of be in a what they may consider a calm or safe area and be right next to, yep, like a rites of passage. Hey, Mr. Carter. And literally be right next to a little bit of chaos. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to think. 50 Cent had it in the song, the Power song, when he said, "I grew up in hell I grew up in hell a block away from heaven," or something like that, right? And so, like, that inner city life can be like that. It can be so. So it's so important to have spaces for our children where they are around like-minded children, meaning their parents are doing the same things that you're doing, saying the same things that you're saying, and then they also are being the qualities of manhood and masculinity and just what is it, discipline, focus, um, processing aggressions and all of these things. Like, I just want to give a big major shout out to PLM and the organization for having that for the boys. I have raised two young men that are adults now, and I have an 11-year-old little boy now, and I can always just say, as a mother of sons, I do have two daughters too, but a mother of boys, you can give them everything, and I was expressing this to my 11-year-old, shout out to Kingdom, yesterday, because he did thug it out. He didn't want to, and a lot of times when you're a single mother, and you're raising boys, I've seen, especially as they become men, how they don't do well with like other masculine energy, just like that. They're not used to that, because I'm always talking like, hey buddy, even when they're in trouble, it's like, yeah, give me that phone, you done with that. But they don't get that, rah from me. And so when I see them go out into the world and I see the struggles with authority, or I see the struggles with emotional stability or maturity, and I'm realizing like, okay, there were some manhood tools. So I'm just always so grateful. And I'm going to get all into my moment. I'm not going to leave it all here. But I just wanted to continue for us to keep a mindset, peace, beautiful, keep a mindset around our community and our children and the things that are missing now, because we're moving more into a technological era. We're also moving into a space of isolation because the climate is so unloving, unforgiving, unprotective. So it's like we're moving into a place of like keeping our children with us, up under us. But community is a mainstream, really, for all of us. I want to say just our children, but all of us need conditioning against, amongst, and with one another. So it's being able to learn, being able to process, accountability, growth, development. These things happen collectively. This is why the creator put all of us here, at the billions that we are here together. In every era of life, no one has ever once came here just one person on earth. So just always keeping that in mind, giving a big shout out, and again a salute to those types of processes. Again, I have raised boys that are young men now, and we can give them everything. We cannot give them manhood. I told mine when he didn't want to go yesterday, I said, son, I can give you education in your academia. I can give you support, love. I can feed you. I can clothe you. But manhood is not something you're just going to pick up. Manhood is not something you possess because you're a boy. Manhood is not something someone is just going to hand to you one day. And if you don't get it appropriately, you'll go looking for it in other ways. And instead of finding manhood, you'll find ego and aggression. And I want you to have it all, right? You deserve it all. Not only do you deserve it all, you need it all. And our children need that. Our girls, our boys, our families, our relationships, right? All of it needs it all. We need the balance, we need the love, we need the incubation, we need the development, we need the processing. So big old shout out. If you can link up with it, I don't care if it's just your friends, your family members, if it's institutions you're a part of and you believe in, if there's an organization that you love and support, link up in love, because the development is amongst and with one another. So that's even more of a reason why I'm so happy to see you all here at a Moment of Harmony, touching and agreeing on us becoming better, doing better, being better, right? So again, big shout out to them. Let's continue to develop our babies. Let's continue to develop our communities. Let's make black families great again. Okay? Let's make black families great again. Let's make black community great again. Okay? So let's go ahead and move on. And thank you so much. We are in manifestation moments. We are manifesting more. Today's episode is entitled Seeing What You Don't See. Oh my goodness, seeing what you don't see. I'm super excited to get into this, because I feel like one major pitfall of manifestation for us is that if we don't see it, we don't believe it, and we don't know how to see it before we see it. And so we're going to get into all of that today. Seeing what you don't see, because you won't see it if you haven't seen it, right? And we're going to go ahead and get all of the tools for that today, because I want us to manifest more. I want us to continue to bring in more. I want us to continue to have more. I want the lives that we pray for, the lives that we dream of, the lives that we visualize, the lives that we speak of. I want those to be our realities. I don't want those to be as things that we use to escape our visions, our dreams, our hopes. I don't want us to be escape artists. I want us to be magicians, right? And make sure that we bring into our life what it is that we deserve, desire, and can manifest. And we can. And so I'm super duper excited for us to get into this seeing what you don't see. Okay. I've been working very loosely out of the entire series of The Secret. If my thoughts can stay together, okay? I've been working very loosely out of the entire series and all of the working tools of The Secret, just because I chose to move in that direction when I wanted to get more and delve more into the laws of attraction. And so The Secret is kind of where I went with a lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it. And my moments for this manifestation moments are all loosely based around one excerpt that I get into every week. So I'm going to read the excerpt that we're getting into this week, and then we're going to get into our moment. We're going to get us some tools to make sure that we are not dismayed, not distracted, and not turned around when we are looking for things, but we don't see them. ATJ, run that back. I want to make sure that we are staying focused in our manifestation powers, in the creation that is endowed within self, when we are looking for things but we don't see them. We're going to do that differently. We're going to move that differently. We're going to create in that energy differently. Okay, so I'm going to read our excerpt today that is very similar to that. And this says, each of us is attracting in every moment of our lives. Each of us is attracting in every moment of our life. You see how they put moment in The Secret? Okay. So, when you feel that the law isn't working for you because you don't have what you want, realize that the law is responding to you. You are either attracting what you want or you are attracting the absence of what you want. The law is still working. Okay, so they're talking about the law of attraction is working in every moment. There is not one time in your life, there is not one moment in your life where the law of attraction is not working. And if there is something that's not there, it is still working, because you are either attracting what you want or you're attracting the absence of what you want. We're gonna get into that one today, right? Because that's a lot. That's a lot of responsibility for the things that I want. But as a creator and a creatist, right, one with creation of creation, Ginyame, we understand that to whom much is given, much is required. So we're going to make sure that we get into requiring more for our vision, requiring more from ourselves as it pertains to our manifestation. Y'all ready? Okay. So, seeing what you don't see. The first part of this is going to be the push and place. I'm going to talk about pushing and placing. Our thoughts push us forward or backward. Every thought we have pushes us forward or backwards. A lot of times at manifestation, we get stuck because we think that because we're thinking positive, we should be moving forward. This becomes the difference between motion and movement. Recently, I just took my children on Thursday. We just went swimming after working. I was gonna say after school, but they're not in school at all. We just went swimming, and I was working with my children on their swimming lessons. My 6-year-old, she is getting it down. She's turning into a little mermaid, okay? And my 11-year-old, like all my big children, they got it. Great swimmers. We're a family of fish. But the little ones, I'm making sure they're getting their technique right, because they still a little bit afraid to venture out, and that means like let's get these skills tight. And when I was teaching, I'm gonna Kingdom specifically. Um, I saw that there was a lot of times when he either had the motion and not the technique, or he had the technique and was scared to move. In either scenario, he was stagnant. In either scenario, he was not moving. In either scenario, he was not making it from one side of the pool to the other side, which was our goal. Right? And many of us in our manifestation journey are trying to make it from one side of a relationship, of a status, whether it's a horrible or a relationship that's needing mending, being single, whether you're healing, whatever. We're trying to make it from one side of something to the other side of something. You're trying to make it from being broke or working for other people. You're trying to make it from paycheck to paycheck to the other side of the vision, to the other side of this, a pendulum in perspective, if you will, right? You're trying to get to the other side of things. What I saw with Kingdom was that when he lacked one or the other, it didn't matter if the other was in place because he wasn't going anywhere. And a lot of times we'll get frustrated because we have motion. And what I mean by this is when Kingdom was sitting in one place, but I was getting his arms and his legs in a proper motion, meaning his technique, his skill, his lines were where they needed to be. If he was not ready to move, but he only had the technique, there was motion in the water, but he wasn't going anywhere. If he was ready to move forward, meaning he wanted to go ahead and try and go forward in the water, but he started to lose his technique as he started to go, meaning he went from his straight strokes to the flopping and the wailing, it was slowing him down. He was still barely moving. Motion and movement becomes a lot of the reason why we start to give up on manifestation, because we will say, I'm thinking good thoughts, I'm doing good things, I'm trying really hard to stick it out, to learn, to grow, and I still feel stuck, I still feel stagnant, or I still feel slow. This is moving entirely too slow for me, right? Waiting another 5 years for the relationship that I'm desiring and that I'm becoming my best for. Being in poverty or not knowing your next career move or goal or direction for another 365 days for us, a lot of us is like, no. So I want us to look into what is keeping us stagnant. And I want us to keep in mind that our thoughts push us forward, just like we saw in the excerpt or read in the excerpt. Our thoughts push us forward or they move us backwards, but they don't solidify us. They don't put us in a concrete or stable place. They create motion, not movement. So when our thoughts get us moving in a direction, what solidifies it? What makes it real for us becomes our behavior. The behavior places it. So my thoughts get me moving in a better direction. I'm not thinking negatively. I'm not thinking low vibrationally. I'm not being full of doubt, regret, fear, sadness. My thoughts are moving me out of some dark places, out of some stuck places, but I'm not being able to have stability in my progress. And that's because the thought is placed by the behavior. So I'm moving, but I'm not solidified until my behavior matches that. What that looks like in real time is that I can't say I want to be in a better relationship. I want to be more valued. I want to be more respected. I want something solid or real, but then my behavior, right? I still entertain less than. I still do hookups. I still, right? I can't say I want better finances or I want to go after my own goals and dreams. And my thoughts will start to move me forward. I will begin to journal and write down all the ideas I have for making more money and more revenue, for using my creativity and my talent and my skills to improve me. But I don't ever submit my ideas. I don't ever make those business cards. I don't ever create those flyers. I don't ever go and consult for anyone for the next step of things, right? Motion, but not movement, will pull us further away from our manifestations and make it harder for us to keep positive ideas and thoughts. And a lot of us do that. I'm seeing it regularly. We're trying to get from one place to another, and we think that the motion is doing something, and we're getting dismayed. We're getting discouraged by the lack of movement. And the manifestation is coming from magnetization, which means something has to move into a place of reality. And for things to be placed, that means that we must then have the behavior that backs it up. So push and place. Let your thoughts push you forward. Today is going to be a good day. I deserve more. I am ready for more. I am going to eat healthier today. I am going to be cognizant of what goes in my body. I am going to be more aware of what I'm listening to. My thoughts, right? And my intentions are pushing me already into a better direction. But being pushed into a better direction is not necessarily being in a better direction. Being in a better place is the behavior that comes to place you. The push and the place. When it comes to manifesting, I want us to keep that in our minds because a lot of us are saying that we want healing. Calm down, boo boo, mommy mercy. A lot of us are saying that we want healing. A lot of us are saying that we want more. We want joy. We want happiness. Ouch. Stop hurting yourself, okay? We want happiness. We want joy. We want greatness. But we are not always willing to put the skill, the technique, and the movements in place for the thoughts to move the thoughts along. And then we start to then give up hope. We start to say, I'm doing all of these things. I done made this vision board. I wrote it in my journal a number of times. I'm speaking positivity over my life. But are you behaving positively? Are you bringing in positive energy? Are you putting those positive thoughts into motion, into movement? And a lot of the times we are working backwards, counterproductive, and we're wondering why we're getting further away from the other side of the pool, right? I started out on this journey and then I lost my technique. I lost how I was supposed to be doing these things. Or I really started getting my technique down, my ideas. I got my outline together, but I did not. I love you, but mommy is gonna give me a quick hug. Quick hug, because I'm live, okay? Love you and good morning. All right, thank you. Um, so, um, wondering why we're getting there. So the push and the place of things is something that I want us to be able to use as we get into mastering dream. No, ma'am. Sorry about that, mommy mercy. I knew this was gonna happen. Didn't I say? See how I spoke that, and then now that happened. Mommy is live. I need you to chill for a second, okay? Thank you. Okay, seeing what you don't see. So, one of the things when it comes to seeing what you don't see is making sure that we're keeping in mind that once I give birth to it here and it is a seed here, I have to physically, there has to be a physical component here, right? And that is what brings what I see from my mind into what I am in my life, what I have in reality. Now, there are life be lifing, right? So there's a lot of circumstances, there are a lot of times in life when we have a negative thought, because remember I said our thoughts move us forward or push us back. And a lot of us are on a seesaw in this thing. We tired, we motion sick because we're going forward and we're going back. We're saying, you know what, I'm opening myself up to dating. I'm ready for something new. And then some things don't look the way that we want them to look. Some of these lessons start coming in and we start to be like, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if, right? So then we immediately begin able to have thoughts that move us backwards. And we're wondering, like, but we're still thinking we can do this seesaw, right? This pendulum of perspective, and we're still going to reach the goal that we want to reach. That is not how manifestation works. I want us to work on getting our hope up, getting our vision up, and getting our work up. Get your weight up when it comes to your manifestations. I was gonna say your motivation too. Get your weight up when it comes to your manifestations. I want your belief in what is to be so much heavier than what you've seen, so much heavier than what you lost, so much bigger than what you doubt. Okay, get your weight up when it comes to what you are manifesting. Now, when we get into those places, because life is real, doubt slips in, doubt is subtle, things move slowly. When we get to those places, I want us to use this formula, okay, that I came up with this morning. This formula that helps us to get our belief under control. Okay, get your weight up in your manifestation game. And in this way, when you start to think, because you're like, look, Harmony, you saying stay positive, think about what I want, even when I see things around me that aren't what I want, even when I'm in experiences that I'm not happy about, even when things look the way that they did yesterday, you want me to see a better tomorrow. Girl, you asking a lot of me. got you. I got you. I got you. I want you to use this tool when negative thoughts come into play that begin to move you backward and you don't want to become stagnant towards your manifestation. I want you to use this method right here. We rewind, remind, refine. Okay? Remind, rewind, refine. Meaning that you have a negative thought. You're healing. I know in my family, we're doing a lot of remembering and healing right now. We're in some major grieving processes, right? We have things that you're trying to heal. You want to be optimistic about life. You want to move forward in the life that you have. You want to not be sad about what you think is coming. You don't want to fear losing things. Like, we don't want to work backwards. Rewind, remind, refine. So when you get into a place where you begin to feel like you're moving forward, this is going to be a good day. It's going to be a healthy day. I'm going to get goals met at work. I am going to, the things that I really need the most today, whether it is affirmation or validation or acknowledgement or even just peace and quiet, whatever it is that I'm needing right now today, that is waiting for me within my day. That's my thought set at the beginning of the day. Then when I get into the vehicle, I get into my vehicle, someone may call me. Something may remind me. Something may trigger me in a traumatic way, a trauma trigger, right? And then I want to go backwards in my thoughts. Now I'm getting sad, or now I'm getting upset. Now I'm feeling doubtful or pitiful, right? I'm starting to go in a sad direction with these thoughts, right? Rewind, remind, refine. In that instant, I'm trying to get to the other side of the pool, which is the analogy we used earlier. I'm trying to get to the other side of the pool. I'm having motion. I'm not having movement because right now all I've done is put a great deal of thoughts at the start of my day. Whenever I'm reaching any type of barrier that is keeping me what I feel like from being able to match behavior to thought, anytime I reach a barrier that is keeping me from being able to match behavior to thought, meaning I thought positive, I'm behaving negatively. I said I was going to have a healthy day. I said I was going to eat live fruits and vegetables and colorful things today, but I'm sure about to stop for a donut. But I'm sure, and then now I start to feel like I'm never going to get to where I'm trying to get. And all of this negativity ensues, right? Whenever I reach a boundary that begins to not align thought and behavior, excuse me, ma'am, no, ma'am, right? That starts to, hey, excuse me, Dream, will you go with Uncle Wiz, please? Will you go down? Thank you so much. Because she don't care. They don't care. They don't care. Okay. What was I gonna say? Okay, so anything that comes down, rewind, remind, refine. Okay, so now I'm sitting in a car. I'm saying I'm gonna have this really great day. I'm being positive today. Good things are in store for me today. Miracles and surprises are waiting around the corner for me. I'm gonna get all of my work done. My energy will be high. My health will be great. I'm starting off with these thoughts, right? They are pushing me forward. And now I'm ready to get some behaviors that place the thoughts, right? I'm going to speak to people. I'm going to hug people. I'm going to stop and get me a smoothie, right? I'm just like, I got my smoothie in my little yogurt bowl. I'm ready for this type of day that I'm manifesting. I have a thought, a song comes on the radio, someone sends a text message. I have a barrier that comes and the thoughts are changing. The thoughts start to say, this is not going to be a good day. This is going to be a long day for you to get through. I don't know how you're going to deal with this. What if this happens? Or what if that happens? Immediately starts to stagnate or move you backwards and become counterproductive in your manifestation skills. Pause. Rewind. I want us to go back to the thoughts you had initially, immediately. If I don't care if you're in the middle of a negative thought, don't even let it finish if you can. But if you got to the point where you like, bro, I broke down, I'm so angry, I had all these other feelings that came up, and now I'm so far from the other side of the pool. I'm even further. I don't even think I'll ever get there. Rewind. Go back to the place you were before you hit the wall, because you were somewhere. And again, when I was teaching Kingdom how to swim, anytime he would forget, he would get out into the water, he would have skill and precision, but then he would get afraid. because he's holding his breath and he's thinking more about what if I don't hold my breath? What if I'm not? And now he lost his technique, and now he's no longer swimming forward. Now he's no longer moving to the other side of the pool. And I can look at him and tell when you lost your technique. You went out, you was straight, boy. You was Michael Phelps in it. Okay, then you got out into this right here and you started with the flopping because fear came in. So you changed your stroke, you changed your technique, and you are no longer moving forward. Pause, rewind, and go back to wherever you were within your mentality, within your mental self when you thought you could do it, because you were stroking. Okay, go back to where you were when you thought you could do it, where you were when you planted the seed, and go back to the beginning of that seed. Then remind yourself of what your goal is. Because when you start getting into fear, when you start getting into doubt, when you start getting into grief, when you start getting into low vibration, you are not where you started out, and you need to remind yourself of where it is that you are going. Right? So when I started out this day, because tomorrow is Monday morning, y'all, okay? When I started out this Monday, was it my goal to have this old long, draggy, sitting up with a migraine day at work, stressed, tired, tense? That was not my goal. Somewhere along the way, there was a barrier that did not allow me to meet my thought and my behavior. I was not able to create the reality that I planted. So now I need to rewind. Where were you? Get back in those fields. Today is going to be a great day. You have more opportunities for greatness, more opportunities for yourself. Go back into rewind. Remind yourself of where you're going. Girl, you was trying to get to the end of a good Monday. You were trying to get to a calm Monday. Sometimes the manifestation is just that simple. It is seeing myself at the end of the Monday without a migraine, without stress, without feeling depleted. And it is seeing me with energy, resting, doing a nightly routine, watching something that lifts my joy, being successful in my goals at home and at work. What barrier? When you hit that barrier, rewind, remind yourself, and then refine your communication. So I was about to say, oh, see, here we go. I talk to my computer at work, especially when them emails are um, shenaniganing. And I will start to be, see, here you go. See, y'all want to try. I was having a good day, but now all of a sudden, rewind, go back to the goals that you set. You can grab the smoothie, grab the yoga bowl, remind yourself of where you're going. I'm getting to a peaceful day. I'm going to moving towards a healthy relationship. I'm getting to a healing place within myself. Remind yourself. Rewind, remind, and then refine. Change it immediately. Just change the language. And you said you hate yourself. You said the day was done. You said you're over it. You said F your life, whatever. Refine it right away. Rewind. Where was I before whatever triggered me to go left? Where was I when I was right? Remind yourself this is the goal. This is where I'm going. Yes, you may feel sad. Yes, you may feel worried. Yes, you may feel frustrated. But where are you going? Where is your manifestation? Stop and say, I'm not getting stuck here at the middle of the pool. My goal is the end of the pool. My goal is the other side. Remind yourself and then refine. You got this. You got this. You had a moment. It's cool. It's cool. We have moments. We're having a moment, right? It's cool. You had a moment, but you're going somewhere great. You're going somewhere good, and you got this. You will still have peace at the end of this day. You will still have a clear mind. You will still have stability throughout your day. It is bettering our belief, getting our weight up when it comes to manifestations. It is bettering our belief and our belief behavior. Not just what we believe, but the behavior that reinforces the belief. It is bettering our belief and our belief behavior that moves us closer to the manifestation we are working towards. Bettering how I believe. Bettering what I believe. If you believe, that's what this excerpt was saying in so many words. If you believe you want it, but you can't have it, then you'll want it, but you can't have it. If you believe that you almost maybe will get close, but something bad will happen, then you will almost maybe get close and something bad will happen. If you believe that you've seen so many people want the same thing and no one was able to get it, and so maybe you won't, then so maybe you won't. Bettering our belief and our belief behavior. I believe in what I cannot see. I was thinking about my brothers this morning, very heavy. And I was thinking about how they physically, the brothers that have transitioned, my two brothers, Majestic and Victorious, shout out and love to them always. And I was thinking about how they are physically not here anymore, but how evident and prevalent they are in the lives of so many people right now that are thinking about them, that are grieving or mourning them. It's almost like them not being here weighs heavier than when they were here in some ways, right? Because it's like a pressure, right? A weight. And it's like, dang, how can something that's not here weigh so much? Right? And then it got me to thinking about this manifestation moment today. Seeing what you don't see. So, because they physically aren't here, are they no longer here? Are they always here because they had a birth date? Because they were born. And even though they left, there is no such thing of them just like not exist. They're not non existent. They are very, very, very prevalent. They are very much influential in our moods, in our memories, in our feelings. And so it goes to be like this whole energy of things that you can't see, that you can't help but to see, right? And those of us that are spiritualists or those that are religious, those that believe in higher power or source energy, frequencies that may not be visible but felt, seeing what you don't see, bettering our belief in our behavior. Many times in this life, we are not faith based, we are not believing, we are not spiritually driven. We have become physical minded, physical beings. When really we are supposed to be spiritual beings having a physical experience. Shout out to Professor Griff. Right? Spiritual beings having a physical experience, but we have become physical minded, physical beings. Oh, what a shame. Oh, what a shame to have the power invested in you of manifestation, of telepathy, of foresight, of insight, of intuition, to have such incredible powers within yourself, and you limit yourself to what you can see, hear, taste, or smell, or feel. You limit yourself to senses that do not speak to the highest parts of you. So, being able to better our belief and our belief behavior, the behavior again, I believe I deserve better. And then my belief behavior should reinforce the fact that I deserve better. You won't ever catch me in certain circumstances or scenarios. I won't ever be in a situation that I can't. But in order for me to have what I see, what I'm bringing in, what I see that is not here yet, I have to see within myself me being a space for that. So I'm changing my belief. I backslide on my belief because there's a part of me that doesn't really believe that I'll have what it is that I want. There's a part of me that doubts because of what I've been through or what I'm going through or where I am, that everything that is waiting for me is not waiting for me. Maybe this is as good as it gets. Maybe this is better than what I had. No. Bettering your belief and bettering your belief behaviors is what changes us, and being able to rewind, remind, and refine will keep us from being stuck in those counterproductive human moments, right? Now, in our physical bodies, being physical minded individuals, shorting ourselves badly, we end up being individuals that are interacting, reacting, and counteracting. And we call that life, right? And we think this is the height of our power as human beings. We think as living beings This is what life is about. Giving, getting, the exchange of life is about interacting, reacting, and counteracting. Interacting with each other, reacting to whatever comes our way, and just counteracting whatever happens. This is not the spirit of creation. This is not the mode of manifestation. That is not how that works. We are not just going in to energies, delving into them, walking into them, just being a part of whatever energy is there. We're not reacting to what comes our way, and we're not also counteracting things that are not, we're being positive if someone is only being positive to us, or we are on a defense in this life. We are individuals of source energy. Shout out to Abram Hicks. Individuals of source energy, and we have the ability to create. And it's so easy to get stuck in just the interact. We're gonna go to work, we're gonna do our job, and we're just gonna do our ate and skate, as they say, right? And then if something comes our way we don't like, we be, excuse yourself, right? Um, and if problems come our way, we think that being on top of our game is just being ready to, with the baseball bat, to knock problems out. I want to tell you that as a spiritual being, a spirit, you are above it all. There is a part of you above it all. There's a part of you operating in all of the mental highness of yourself, your highness. There's a part of you that can operate in your highness. And you don't have to be just thrown into the mix of the physical. You can be in the physical, operating under the spiritual, moving closer, and being in a more orchestrative position of your life. So when we are in this thing and we are just in the middle of it, because we don't see better opportunities, we don't see better romantic interactions or connections, we don't see the healing components happening in our families, and we just stuck in that. We end up just interacting in that. We end up reacting to that. We end up trying to counteract that. When there is a space that you win in over the physical, being able to better the belief, there's a space over the physical that allows me not to get caught in the fear, that allows me not to get caught in the routine, that allows me not to get caught in the past, that allows me not to be stuck in a physical place when I'm on a spiritual journey and a spiritual mission, which is what manifestation is, right? So rewind, remind, refine in order to better your belief and your belief behaviors. I want to be better. I don't want to be, we lose things. I don't want to be sad my whole life. I don't want to be missing this thing my whole life. I don't want to miss out on life. But we'll speak, we'll write, we'll communicate, we'll convey and express something totally different. And therefore, just like in the excerpt, you are manifesting either what you want in every action and every thought, or you are manifesting the absence of what you want in every thought, in every action. And so when we get into those places where we're stuck in a space like that, how can I get out of that space without being stagnant, without moving backwards, without completely undoing my manifestation journey? Because a lot of us are doing that. Oh, well, now I can't be happy. You're asking for happiness, you're praying for happiness, you're getting up in the morning looking for happy, but you have these thoughts that happiness won't be yours. It's not something that you'll get unless. So that's one of the tools I want us to use. Rewind, remind, refine. Guard your thoughts, right? Shout out to the doc. Stand guard over your thoughts. Your thoughts push you, your behavior places you, and where you want to be, you have to be there first. You have to be where you want to be before you get there. What in the world? Manifestation. Be where you want to be before you get there. Be where you want to be in order to get there. Be where you want to be to wake up and be there. Okay? Now, all of this sounds like some big old fanciful magic trick, right? In a lot of ways, this just sounds like, girl, it sounds like you want me to be sit up in here imagining. You want me to be up in here fighting in imaginary land in imaginary ways? You want me to, this is a lot of work. This writing and repeating, and this is a lot of work. This is how I want you to see this, right? I want us to use a theory that I also developed this morning called the box theory. It is a manifestation, super amazing manifestation tool. And the box theory is this: if you want to see it, you have to see it. This is manifestation. If you want to see it, you have to see it. Simply put, if I want to see it, I have to see it. If I want to see it, I have to see it. If I want to have it, I have to be it. If I want to have it, if I want to see it, I have to see it. If I want to have it, I have to be it. Okay? And in the box theory, I want you to think about a box, an empty box, whatever, however you want to see the box. There's a box, and I want us to think about there being something in this box that we really need. I could surely use $1 million right now. I don't know about you. But in my box, let's say in my box theory, I have an empty box and I want to see $1 million in the box. What we do in manifestation is, this is a simple seed that I've placed. I want something in this box. There's nothing in the box, and I want something in the box. Um, and in the box theory, I have to continue to believe and to visualize and to work towards there being something in that box that I want in the box. Now, this is where we start to derail when it comes to manifestation. We start to be like, well, how is something going to get in that box? And how do I know? And what if someone takes it out of the box? And what if, how long is it going to take to get in the box? In every moment, you are manifesting you are creating a manifestation, or you are manifesting the absence of what you are requesting, your manifestation. In every moment, you are creating either the manifestation or the absence of it. And your thoughts create reality just like that. Because your thoughts move your actions, and you will react. If you're not spiritually in orchestrative mode, you react to what you think. And then your life will respond to where you are. What you have is a response to where you are. When we start worrying about money, money starts getting funny. When we start getting afraid, when we start saying, oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many times at the beginning of the month of June, because there was so much, before the month of June even popped off, I was putting together in my mom mood all of the things that had to be done. I had 2 birthdays, 2 graduations, and I kept saying, this is going to be a crazy month for me financially. I don't know how I'm going to. Okay, girl, you're going to have to keep it focused, because one wrong move, okay, and you're going to be you're going to be really trying to figure out this budget. And then what happens? I go through the month of June, and and that's so easy to do, right? Because we call ourselves planning, human. We call ourselves making provisions, human. We call ourselves being careful, human. But the thing is, in your physical minded nature, and when you're in the nature of physical mindedness, you will cancel out your spirit mind. You will cancel it out. They can't be together. They can't be together unless you marry and merge them. But you absolutely cannot ever think only in physical, and you cannot ever only think in the spiritual. And if you are not working very hard, as above, so below, you will end up being stuck in a physical, material space of reality. And if you end up only being spiritual, and you're not backing it up in the meaning that I'm wanting more, I'm praying for more, I'm working for more, but I'm not backing it up in a fast, I'm not backing it up in a journal, I'm not backing it up in a workout, I'm not backing it up in a smile, guess what? It's half-sided, and I won't get to this other side of where I'm trying to get to. So in the box theory, we get caught up because we'll say, I want something in this box. This is what I want us to work on when it comes to whatever it is you're trying to get. You're trying to get healthy. You're trying to get healed. You're trying to fall in love. You're trying to have more income. You're trying to have, better connections with family and friends and your children. Whatever it is endless. Okay, this thing is endless when it comes to the desires and the manifestations of life, because you are a limitless being. And some of us believe we can only have some happiness, but not all. It's like, I might not have love, but at least I have money. We'll say things like that. You are limitless. The only limitations you have are the limitations you place. That's hard to believe because we're physical, because we be in the physical. And so we see a physical barrier, like a bill. We see a physical barrier, like a text. We see some physical barrier that makes us think that we are stuck here. And guess what? We end up being stuck there. But I'm trying to talk to you about your spiritual abilities, capabilities of manifestation. Manifesting is spiritual mastery. It is spiritual work. It is mastering your ability to create, to conjure, to place, to be, right? And again, not in some fanciful place, right here in reality. That's where we start to mix up manifestation as well. So when it comes to the, please ma'am, excuse me. So when it comes to the box theory, I have a box and I want to see something in it. Many of us will start to be like, well, how is something going to get in the box? How is something going to get, what am I going to put in the box? When does somebody take something out of the box? You start to cancel yourself out. Your box theory, I'm just seeing the $1,000,000 in the box. I'm just, when I go to work, I'm seeing the $1,000,000 in the box. When I'm out with my friends, I'm seeing $1,000,000 in the box. When I'm at home working out, $1,000,000 in my box. When I'm cooking for the children, $1,000,000 in my box, right? We get caught up on how is it going to get in there. You could be the one that puts the $1,000,000 because all the things we'll know is that, well, the box is empty. I'm saying that I want $1,000,000 in the box, but I know the box is empty. And so now here I am creating the absence of a manifestation. I'm focusing on it. And that's what I have. That is not my thoughts. The box theory, I have a box and there's something that I want the $1,000,000 in the box. I need $1,000,000 in the box. We want to put a time frame on it. We want to put stipulations around it. We need affirmation. We need assurance and validation around it. We need other people to see the box. Box theory when it comes to manifestation. Just see you healthier in the box. Just see you more financially stable in the box. Just see. You want to see it, you have to see it. And then you have to believe. Because for all you know, someone comes, hey girl, this is how manifestation works, and we get caught up on everything. Well, I got this box in my mind and I want something in it, but I know nothing is really in it. I kind of feel crazy just thinking something is going to be in this box. And nothing is in this box. How's something just going to pop in the box? No one said a pop in. We just said believe that you see what you see in the box, right? So here's how manifestation happens. I'm seeing this box. I'm at work. I'm going through my life. I'm making better choices. I'm making better decisions because I see the $1,000,000 in the box. There's $1,000,000 in this box. I'm going to open this box and $1,000,000 in this box. How, when, who, what, where, how. This is crazy, right? One day, and this has happened in real life, right? One day, girl, hey, I dropped some money off that I owed you, but you weren't home, so I just put it in your mailbox. I just put the envelope in your mailbox, boo, just so you know. Right? Because in my mind, I'm thinking some super magical trick is going to happen, that one day I'm going to open this empty box. It's just going to be. Manifestation says, I see the vision and I'm believing through the journey. And I don't know when or how that's going to happen. One day, I could be, you literally, manifestations pop in your mind. Like, oh my God, that's what I've been seeing. Didn't know how, when, what, how, none of it, right? But it could be someone giving me $1,000,000. Hey, hold this for me. Put this, and then I got $1,000,000 in the box. You don't know, right? How this whole thing comes about. What you have to be able to master is that I do know what I want. And I do know what aligns me with what I want and what I deserve. And I do know that it only takes a minute for the same thought that pushed me forward to be a thought that pushes me or holds me back. The same thought that allows me to plant a seed could be the same type of thought that allows me to plant a weed that stunts what I'm growing, that moves me backwards from where I'm wanting to go through, that disappoints me, that stagnates me, and discourages me from my manifestation. All you need is a little discouragement that keeps you from moving forward, but then also all you need is a little bit of faith that keeps you. Got my hair stuck in my ring. All you need is a little bit of faith that keeps you moving towards. And so, if a little bit of faith moves you forward, it gets you from one side of the pool to the middle. What do you think a whole lot of it will do? And if a little bit of doubt stops and stagnates you or keeps you stuck in a place, what do you think a lot of it will do? Right? We have to better our belief and our belief behavior. See it. See what you want. And I'm saying, and don't counteract it. I don't know what's going to happen to me. A lot of us have been speaking like that and thinking about that because of the current administration. All types of emails and things coming. I've watched miracles happen in an instant because I believed that this will not affect me. This is only pushing me towards where I need to be. This is only teaching me, it's refining me. Y'all, I've been in some stuff that has only refined my manifestation skills, making me only more of a master of where I'm going. Because I'm watching in real time how I plan and then how I place. And then how I plan and then how I place. And it's like, wait. You can do this thing better, different, more. We're asking for more. We're creating more. We will have more. We're changing our belief and our belief behavior. We're standing guard over our thoughts. We are believing no matter what in the box. We are seeing it in the box. I don't know how it's going to get in the box. It could get in the box in increments. Some of us think manifestation works like that. $1 million at one time in the box. And you're missing the dollar in the box. You're missing the $5 in the box. You said $1 million in the box. Believe it. You said health in the box. Believe it. You said healing in the box. Believe it. You said marriage is in the box. Believe it. Believe it and then show it in your behavior what you believe. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for joining me for another moment of harmony. I am manifesting for you all an extraordinary week ahead. No barrier coming in between, changing the seed that you planted into the place that you're placing at any point of your week. You would have a great week. I'm speaking it with you. I'm speaking it for you. I'm loving you all the while. We're going to have a great week. There's a breakthrough coming for you. There's a miracle in your midst. There's positivity all up and through trying to get all up into your life. Let it in. Let it in. Because what you have is what you believe you'll have, and what you don't have is what you believe you won't have. I love you all so much. I look forward to seeing you for another moment of harmony next week. Hey, and do this, right? Go on and take really good care of yourself. Take such good care of yourself. Do whatever it is that's needed for yourself. Be in good space with self, with your mind, body, heart, soul, and spirit. Let nothing dictate the space that you keep within self. Be in a good space with yourself. Take really good care of yourself. And then, once you feel great and straight, go on out your way to take really, really good care of someone else. I love you all so much. I will see you for another moment of harmony next week. Be blessed.